What's the word, YouTube? It's your boy Big Will. It's a reaction video on police officers, the way they abuse their power. So this is one particular case where I believe these officers went above and beyond. This officer, I should say, it's a Texas cop. He resigns after the incident was videotaped and everybody's seen it. But let's take a look at it and see what they say. See how he fucked up. Let's see.
Video of a white police officer forcibly pushing a black teenage girl to the ground that's gone viral has sparked national outrage. Many see it as the latest example of excessive force by police. Now the white teenager who recorded the incident shares his story. In the news tonight on the future of the officer under investigation in this.
Now he was manhandling a black teenager, I believe 15. It was a white person. All the white kids, the white kids and the black kids, they were just having us after end of school pool party. And you know, some teenagers may have gotten out of hand or something, but let's watch and see what happens to this guy. White guy, black teenager. Go figure, right? Incredible. Racism in this country has to stop. The racism. What people don't realize, police officer or not, skin is only color. The color of our skin is only so deep. Once you get underneath that skin, there's a thing called blood, and we all have the same color. There's a thing called bones. We all have the same color. We are all people. It doesn't matter the skin color. Okay? The racism has to stop. If you want to put ignorance involved, that's a different scenario. But just because of one's skin color or their ethnicity, people pick on Chinese, you know, or every Chinese person, what they went through because of COVID. That's crazy. The racism in this country is out of control. But let's watch this case.
In this town divided. It happened in an instant. An end of the school year pool party erupts into screaming and shoving. The latest fuel in America's lingering fire over race and justice. 15-year-old Jerry Beckton, wearing the orange bikini there, thrown to the ground by a white officer. Seconds later, the situation escalates as Officer Eric Casebolt.
First he slams her to the ground, then you see him, he push punched the other girl with his left. Let's watch this dickhead.
Pulls out his service weapon, pointing it at two other unarmed teens who quickly run.
And then pulls his gun on him. Not his taser, not his nightstick, but he pulls his gun on him. Are you serious?
Away. And then he returns to that girl in the bikini bathing suit, pinning her to the ground, both knees buried in her.
The way he first fucked up was before he even came to work, by getting dressed and putting them tacky white socks on underneath his black uniform with his blue uniform with the black shoes. Come on, man. You wear black socks. Everybody knows that. White socks with the Michael Jackson look. Come on, dude. That was your first fuck up.
Back. This video went viral in hours, now seen by almost 10 million. And the outrage has come pouring in from The View.
White kids, black kids, no kids. Nobody should be treated like that. Nobody should be manhandled like that. I'm sorry.
Nobody.
To Fox News.
There's no doubt about it. If you obey the police, it doesn't usually happen.
No laws, no peace.
Supporters of the police department voicing their feelings.
I think he did what he thought he had to do to control the situation.
What do we...
The person who said that guy, he was racist. I think he did what he did to control the situation. They're kids. They are kids. Come on, man.
Justice! When do we want it?
Now! While other members of the community marched in support of the teens. And at one point, both sides coming face to face over the issue.
There's nothing worse than a coward with a gun in
say.
Now tonight, Officer Casebolt, 10-year veteran of the McKinney, Texas Police Department near Dallas, has resigned.
Our practice do not support his actions. He came into the call out of control, and as the video shows, was out of control during the incident.
The whole key is
That's the chief. There's the chief. Chief hadn't played no part in that racism. The chief played no part in that. He was wrong. He was wrong. And we have no place in our organization for a person like that. I'm glad he did that.
Escalate situations. You, the police, don't want to become part of the problem. And that's what it appears to me happened in McKinney, Texas. The police actually became part of the problem.
It all started last Friday after members of a community pool contacted police about a rowdy crowd of students who they said weren't members and were refusing to leave. Tensions flared, witnesses say, after a fight broke out between white adults who had become agitated by the behavior of some of the black teenagers. It's unclear which kids were invited and which crashed the end of the school year party. It was then Casebolt and the other officers responded to the scene.
Get on the ground. Hold up, sir. I told you to stay.
Yet as police work to disperse the curious crowd, Casebolt can be seen racing to the scene. So quickly, in fact, he trips and flips, only to continue his charge.
What did you do when I walked away? I'm sorry.
The officers seen and heard cursing at partygoers, he says, were trying to run from police.
Don't make me around here with 30 pounds of goddamn gear on the sun because you want to screw around out here?
And then Casebolt refocuses his attention back to Jajeria Becton.
He told. There's a second time. Now he's back, whipping around again. Kneeing on her back. Come on, man.
Me to keep walking, and I kept walking, and then I'm guessing he thought we were saying rude stuff to him, and he shoved me in the grass, and he started pulling the back of my braids.
I just don't see in that scenario where the police were in harm's way or that the kids were harming anybody else.
Behind the camera, 15-year-old Brandon Brooks capturing 7 minutes of chaos on his phone.
He's just putting random black kids on the ground. I was like one of the few Caucasian people at the party. I think it might have had something to do with racism.
But when
any black person out there that cop was targeting, any black kid that was out there that cop was targeting.
When the gun came out, Brooks worried things were about to get worse.
At that point, my heart did drop, and I was scared that someone was going to get shot and possibly killed.
You know how easy it is, once he pulls that gun, to hear someone behind him and he'll think he's getting attacked, to turn and fire and kill a kid, an innocent parent, another police officer? Luckily, it didn't happen. By the grace of God, it didn't happen. But how easily that is? Come on.
Killed. So I knew I had to keep on filming, because I got really scared when he pulled out his gun.
There's absolutely no reason to ever pull a gun unless deadly force is about to be used on you.
My colleague Steve Osunsami talked to members of the community who shared their relief McKinney had not turned into Ferguson or Baltimore.
What do you guys think of all this?
I think that it could have been a lot worse than what it was. Thank God it wasn't.
And uncannily predicted what few knew about Corporal Casebolt until tonight.
The way he acted, this wasn't the first time. He has a demeanor about himself to where he seems to be hot-headed, and thank God it was a camera.
ABC News has learned that in 2007, Casebolt was accused in a federal lawsuit of racial profiling and excessive force during a drug search. Albert Brown Jr., who's African-American, says Casebolt and other officers slammed his head against the hood of his car. Police did find drugs. The lawsuit was dismissed. Friday's video set off a firestorm.
So you pull him over. I don't care how many drugs he has. Don't call for you to slam his head on the hood of the car. It doesn't call for you to abuse him. And it happens from white cops to white people, white cops to black people. It happens to black cops to black people, and black cops to white people. It happens from all cops to all people. But there's a lot a lot of white cops that are racial. Let me keep my insults to myself. They're racial motherfuckers.
Storm on social media with tweets like this. A police officer who feels threatened by a teenager in a bathing suit might need to reevaluate their career choice. The officer has support.
Because she might be hiding a gun somewhere in a bikini. Come on.
Orders as well. The situation in McKinney would not have escalated to what it did if everyone would have done what they were told to do by authorities. Read another tweet. Tonight we hear from one of the teens that tried to help the young girl on the ground.
He started manhandling her, and you can hear people in the video screaming. And the way he had her, I kind of like freaked out, like, oh my gosh, he's hurting her. So I started telling him, like, officer, please stop, you're hurting her.
18-year-old Adrian Martin says he lost his footing trying to help the girl on the ground.
Just him losing his footing like that. If that cop had his gun out, he would have thought he was being attacked and he would have shot that kid and possibly killed him. Just by him slipping like that.
And that's why it looks like he lunged at the officer.
It looks like I'm lunging towards the officer, but as you can see, the incline, I slipped because I got bumped into twice accidentally.
At one point, Adrian says he felt like he was looking down the barrel of Corporal Eric Casebolt's gun.
I was thinking I'm about to get shot.
A cop thought he was...
And that's why I started running.
Adrian Martin was arrested and charged with evading arrest and interfering with the police officer.
Adrian, you good, bro?
Adrian says that Casebolt was the only officer that was out of hand.
Interfering with a police officer. Listen, people are interfering more and more nowadays because if they don't, they end up dead. They end up dead. Another George Floyd. They killing people. Come on, man. Choking people out.
There were some professional officers that were doing their job right. They were being respectful, but this one officer...
See what he said? There were some officers that were doing their job right and respectful. There's no racist there. The kids are not racist against the cops. There were some cops that are doing the right job. But not this guy.
An officer, he was taking it out of hand. He was real aggressive.
And the McKinney police chief seems to agree.
I had 12 officers on the scene. 11 of them did exactly what we would want them to do.
And while watching the press conference about Officer Casebolt's resignation, Adrian learns all the charges against him have been dropped.
That case has been dropped.
Good job.
Honestly, I'm just really happy. I'm ready to move forward.
Another flashpoint endured. What fallout may follow.
So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Police officers are out of control nowadays? You think there should be more training? You think there should be a law against, especially kids that are underage with excessive force? It's crazy. Even these young teenage kids nowadays are getting killed. They're getting killed over stupid shit, over a pool party where they're all in bathing suits. They're getting killed. Let me know what you think. It's gotta stop. But it's your boy Big Will. Thank you for watching. Appreciate yous all. You know my day one is. Appreciate you, fam. I'll see you on the next one. Life after prison. Peace.